Apparently, August is typically a busy month for me and Hoyas. When I sat down to figure out who was celebrating an anniversary this month, I came up with a list of 25 plants. We're not going to do them all today, but join me with a tasty beverage of your choice close to hand while we begin 2 Year Hoya Updates. And before we get that underway, I'd like to take this opportunity to send out a special thanks to someone and to Laura Jackson, who both bought me coffees last week. Your contributions to my channel are greatly appreciated and go a long way in keeping me in Hoya Dischidia, technology infrastructure, and all the things that help make these videos possible. So thank you both very much for your support. And the first one up today was identified by the grower, by the creator, as ABL017. And this came from Anne at Plants Our Life Shop as a little thank you. Well, at the time it was a little thank you. I should have a picture over here of what they looked like when they first showed up, and there were 2 cuttings in the pot. And Anne told me I got to name it. So I named it in her honor, and this is species ABL017 Anne's Treat. And, whoops, getting the lights. This one has done really, really well for me. I like it. It's grown. Man, it was a vigorous grower from the beginning. Now, she said that this is a cross between Hoya Genevieve and an unknown father. So we don't know a whole lot about it. Did I have a note in here about who Genevieve is? Okay, Genevieve is a cross of a Mike Barnardo clone and verticillata, which is verticillata and rigida. So that's who Genevieve is. Yeah, I can definitely see the verticillata in this. And they've just grown a treat. I mean, no pun intended. Well, yeah, maybe pun intended. They've done really well now. This one got a little dry, but it's happy. The leaves are very pretty. It's done well. It hasn't been demanding. And the blooms, and I should have pictures of the blooms over here on the side. They are very, very pretty. I was quite thrilled. So yeah, no problems, no issues. It's been a steady grower. It just hasn't done anything to give me any cause to lose sleep about. It's just been a great plant. At present, I'm the only one in the world who has this, so that's kind of neat. I, at a certain point, may make some cuttings available, but that's not happening quite yet. I want to make sure it's all going well. I want it to bloom one more time for me. But yeah, this has been really good, and thank you very, very much. This has turned out to be a very, very cool plant. This is Hoya species ABL017, Anne's Treat, and it came from Plants Our Life Shop on Etsy. Up today is my Hoya carnosa compacta. Now, Hoya carnosa is native to South Central and Southeast China and Hainan Island, to Japan and the Nansei Shoto, to Laos and to Taiwan. But this doesn't come from any of those places. This is a mutant variety, and it was officially approved in 1980. And the note I have says it was developed by irradiation of rooted cuttings with X-rays or gamma rays. And the new attributes were yellow-green incurved leaves. That's the, this one happens to be the outer variegated one. It was first published in 1991 in Hoya by Christine M. Burton. And I bought this as kind of a challenge to myself, and because I'd never really liked it. I just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't work for me. But everybody raved about them. People who have them love them. Everybody kept calling them a pest magnet, you know, a mealybug magnet. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to get one and I'm going to see what the whole experience is. And it changed my mind. This one, I have two. I have the regular green one and the outer variegated one. I did not get them at the same time. The outer variegated one will probably show, or the plain green one will probably show up next month in the review. This one grew well right out of the box. I've moved it into my standard pond and a self-watering pot, and I have a fishing weight on the back. It was a little bit larger, but apparently it got dry. I must have missed it. I have to figure out a way to maybe moving the pots around when I'm watering. So when I water it, I move it so I can get them all, make sure I get them all. But this one got a little dry, so I did a little bit of pruning of things that died back, but no mealies, no pests, no issues. It's kind of a neat plant. I have learned to like it. It's just, those leaves are really cool. They've been growing really well. Like I said, it was a little bit bigger, but I had to cut off some of the stuff that was not doing well. But no issues with this one. You know, it's not been a pest magnet. I have not seen pests on it once. So if you like this, but that's what's keeping you from getting it, relax. The reason that it can be difficult, not a pest magnet, but if mealybugs get in there, it could be really difficult to see them until it's like a whole full-blown infestation. But that has not been my experience. So yeah, it's been really cool. I like this one. I'm going to try and get it back growing again, pay them a little bit more attention when I'm watering in there, and see if we can't make this a handsome plant once more. This one came from Wish List Foliage Plant on Etsy, and this is Hoya carnosa compacta. Next one up, also here for 2 years, is my Hoya species Hot Lips. Now this is another Mike Bernardo cross. This is Hoya MB0001, or that's one of the parents, which is an MB0001 is a cross of verticillata and rigida. And so that 001 crossed with Hoya excavata. And it's done okay. The leaves are fine. You know, it's been a decent grower. It hasn't bloomed for me yet. And at present, I would describe it as somewhat unremarkable. Of course, if it blooms, I'll change my whole story about that and will deny that I ever said it. Yeah, it's just been what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, yeah, like something a little bit more exciting, a little bit more interesting. Maybe I just need to give it a little bit more attention, find a better spot for it. Right now, it's in my standard pond and a self-watering pot. There's a decent little root system. Oh, good, there was moisture in there. So it's a decent little root system. I think perhaps it would like slightly less light. The leaves to me seem just a little bit, where's that going? I don't know, I'll figure it out later. They look a little pale. So maybe it would like just a little bit less light than it's getting now. I would think for 2 years it might have done a little bit better, but it hasn't. It hasn't died, neither, well, I was gonna say it hasn't thrived, but it's doing okay. It's just not glorious. And not as exciting as the person it was named after, and that was the character of Margaret Houlihan in MASH, who was known as Hot Lips. But yeah, I'm going to grow it a little bit longer and see if it turns into anything exciting. This one came as a free thank you cutting, and I may have a picture of it over here showing what it looked like when it first showed up. And it came from my friends at Plants Wake You Up, who sadly are no longer selling Hoyas. They were a great resource, and I miss them terribly, but I'm hoping the best for them. So yeah, in their new adventure. This is a Mike Bernardo cross. This is Hoya species Hot Lips, and it came from Plants Wake You Up. One up, also here for 2 years, is my Hoya incrassata intervariegated. Now, Hoya incrassata is native to the Philippines and was first published in the 1904-1905 edition of Fragmenta Florae Philippinae by Otto Warburg. And you probably looked at this and said, I thought he said it was intervariegated. Yeah, that's kind of my response too. Well, there's some variegation on that leaf. Now, the original leaves are here, and they are variegated. And I should have a picture over here on the side of what it looked like when it showed up. But that's been it. And this has been under bright light. This has been under lower light. It's growing. But I would like more of that, or even more of that, and a little bit less of that. It has not bloomed for me yet. I've noticed with incrassata, they can sometimes be a little prissy, that they, if they don't get the amount of water, just the right amount of water that they want, they'll pout and you'll get leaves that are very wrinkly and not happy looking. But if you give them a drink, they will bounce back. So maybe I just have not been doing exactly what this plant wants from me. I haven't been giving it exactly what it wants. I don't know. Like I said, it's grown, it's okay. The leaves are interesting. But yeah, So far it's been rather disappointing. So I think I'm going to try I'm going to find it a different situation. What do the roots look like? It's got a decent root system. Could use another drink. We'll take care of that. I don't know. I know everybody always tells you, well, you know, if you want variegation or if you want splash, give it lots and lots of light, and that doesn't always hold true. At least that's been my experience. This one was growing directly under grow lights, and these are it came with those two, and the next two leaves had like no variegation, and then it gave me this one, and then, like nada, bupkis, nothing. So while it's been a decent grower, I'll let it go a little bit longer, but I'm not, My other incrassata, great, we're happy with that one. This one's just been meh, There's days when I wonder why I put the energy into watering it. But anyway, we'll give it a shot, see if it can turn into something decent in the near future. Maybe a different setup. Maybe I'll try it in my western window. See what it thinks of it in there. Gets a lot of light in there. See what happens. Anyway, this one also came from Plants Wake You Up. And this is Hoya incrassata, intervariegated, sometimes sold under the name Moonshadow. Has been here for 2 years as well. And this is my Hoya lobbii. And this is the one that blooms with an orange color. Now, lobbii is native to Assam in India, to Cambodia, and to Thailand, and was first published in 1883 in the Flora of British India by Joseph Dalton Hooker. And there's a note on the herbarium sheet that says Reg Himal, which I would think to mean the Himalayan region. But that doesn't quite fit in with where it's native to. So maybe the definition, maybe what Joseph thought of when he wrote Reg Himal and what I think of when I see Reg Himal are two different things. Anyway, I should have a picture of what it showed up looking like. And it's done pretty well. It had this crazy double leaf down here, which is still there. And it's done well. It's got nice looking leaves. Little bit of splash. I don't think this is I don't think it wants to be wound tightly around a trellis, which is kind of why I did this thing. And plus it shot up like crazy. Yeah, this would snap if you tried to wrap it tightly. I think if you got right on it, you could get it to circle around a trellis. But I think this is going to be like my Deki Pule and my Loki, and this is going to be like, it just wants to shoot straight up. So maybe if I had planted it in the middle of this trellis, just to support it all the way. But as we can see, that's now a good, now I have my handy dandy measuring tape here. And it's now a good 30 centimeters or 1 foot beyond the top of my trellis. And it looks like it's getting ready to put out another peduncle. So that's very cool. I should also have pictures of what it looks like when it blooms. And those were enjoyable, and I'm glad it did. I'm kind of in a quandary because if this is growing like my Decipulae and my Loki, they're about 5 feet tall each. The Loki only blooms, it puts out a peduncle and only blooms once, and it only blooms near the top. The Decipulae will put out peduncles up and down the stem, but I don't need another big tall plant. Maybe if I can group them together, that might solve the space issue. But yeah, it's done well. It's been no difficulty. There've been no pest issues, nothing dramatic or terrible. I'm sure it's had its share of, you're gonna have bugs. So it's just done okay. As long as I keep up with the watering, it grows like a weed. It's growing in my standard pond mixture in a self-watering pot. It's got a little bit of a root system. There's moisture in there. That's always a good thing. It is currently living on the floor between two grow shelf setups. So it gets moderate light. It seems to like that. The color on the leaves looks good. So yeah, just have to be better about watering it. But I'm pleased, it's been fun. And the blooms are neat. So yeah, this is Hoya lobbii orange, and this one also came from Plants Wake You Up. Still doing 2-year anniversaries here. This one is Hoya species MB1414, and this is another Mike Bernardo clone that was sent to me by Plants Wake You Up. And again, it's done well. It's a sturdy little plant. No real issues. Now, it's a cross of Hoya Christine, which is subquintuple nervous and Potsy. So it's Christine crossed with Aldrichi. And the leaves are nice. They're pretty enough. There's some nice features in them. Slightly raised central vein, a couple side veins, kind of a chunky lancelet shape. And it's grown well enough. Hasn't bloomed. It is what it is. It's a Hoya. So do I need to try something else with it? Probably. Do I need to give it a bigger trellis? Yeah, I think so, because it's done that lately and it's done that lately. So yeah, I could use a bigger trellis, but again, it's fine. It's good. It's growing. It's thriving. Maybe it'll bloom sometime. We'll see. This one was a thank you from Plants Wake You Up, and this is Hoya species MB1414. one more Mike Bernardo cross from Plants Wake You Up. And this one is Hoya species MB1497. And I wish more of the leaves looked like that. Yeah, anyway, 1497 is a cross of Hoya erythrina with Hoya Genevieve. And remember, we talked about earlier, Hoya Genevieve, which is MB 1141, is a cross of Hoya verticillata and Hoya rigida. I definitely see the verticillata in this one. Yeah, you know, it's kind of in the same boat. I'm not thrilled with it. A lot of people love their Mike Bernardo crosses, and I'm probably just not doing something right enough for it. What's going on here? So it undoubtedly wants different conditions. And maybe this one too can go into the bedroom, into the west-facing window. That didn't work out as I planned. Into the west-facing window, and that will be closer to what it would like from me. Come on, here we go. I hate it when they struggle. Yeah, so it's doing okay. It's in my standard pond mixture. It's got a little bit of a root system. There's moisture in the pot. Yay. I know I've said it a couple times, but watering this summer has just been, it's been a chore. Typically I can water like every 7 days. And the plants do fine with that, but because we've had 2 or 3 bouts so far of temperatures that have been in the 90s for days at a time, the plants are just drinking up moisture like crazy. And even when the temperatures are not quite that hot, it's still been like 85 to 90 in the plant room, and they're just drinking it up. I could water every other day. And just to keep ahead of it, and I don't have that kind of time right now. So yeah, this one's done okay. This one is Hoya species MB1497, and this one also came from Plants Wake You Up. One up has also been here for 2 years, and that's my Hoya medusa. Now, medusa is native to Luzon Island in Cagayan province in the Philippines. It was first collected in 2022 and published in 2023 in Phyto Keys by Miguel de Leon, Derek Cabactulan, Ryu Di Cuerdo, and Michaela Rhoda. And the name medusa comes from the shape. My notes say, refers to the serpentine processes of the inner corona, reminiscent of the snake headdress of Medusa in Greek mythology. And I like this plant. I think the leaves, let's see if I can find it good, are very, very pretty. It's one of those plants, one of those Hoyas that's like odorata or Iris Marie. So it's kind of tree-like, more tree-like than a typical Hoya. And I wasn't thrilled with the way it was growing. It was just like, eh. So I thought I would take a cutting and see if I could get it to do something a little more interesting, because I had seen better looking pictures of it. So I took a cutting and set it up in my standard pond mixture, and like little mini self-watering pot, and it has rooted very, very well. I don't know if you'll be able to see that in there. I'll try and remember to take some stills of it, but it has put out new growth. And I like the way this is growing. So perhaps it needs to be more cascading. But I think these leaves are, I'm happier with the cutting than I was with the mother plant. But now that it's started, like I took the cutting here and it's pushed out this since I took that. So I'm happier with this now. I know I talked to the seller about it, and her comment was that she had stopped offering it because it was not as rewarding as people would like. So like, okay, yeah, I'm on board with that one. But this spring it has, I took the cutting there. Is that where I took the, yeah, I took the cutting there. So this is fairly new growth. This is new growth this season, and this is new growth this season. What I'm seeing is, particularly with this cutting, is that it likes it a little bit, it seems to like it a little bit drier. That's been my experience. Because this little cup had a tendency to dry out a little bit, or to get down to minimums in terms of water level. But there's a great root system in there, and it did fine. So maybe that's the thing for this plant, is to let it go, not bone dry, but let it be a little, let it be looking for a drink. Not always having one close to hand, but be looking for one. And we'll see. But I like that. I'm happy with that. So maybe I'll put these two together and create a nice little cascading thing. It has not bloomed for me. I should have a picture over here of what it looked like, of what this one looked like when it arrived. Yeah, I'm feeling better about this one than I was, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Yeah, I'm still not a big fan of Iris Marie or Odorata, but I'm starting to become more of a fan of this. So we'll see how that works. Yeah, maybe with luck I can get it to do something better. They're both currently living in my standard pond mixture and self-watering one way or the other. And they are growing in lower light. They're off to the side. This one is off to the side of one of my grow shelves. So it sits on the grow shelf is over here, and it sits off to the side here. So it gets some fallout from the grow shelf. This one has been living on my desk, which is in the center of the room, so that with no direct light over it, but ambient light in the room, which may be what this plant wants. I will carry on and we'll see. Maybe I just need to reposition it. It's growing, hasn't died, hasn't given me any trouble, other than just not doing anything amazing. Amaze me, please. Amaze me. I'm easily amazed, okay? It doesn't take much, but what can you do? This one is Hoya medusa, and the original mother plant came from Hoya Treasures on their website. one more from 2 years, and this is my Hoya occultata. Now, occultata is native to the Mamasa district of Sulawesi. It was first collected in 2020 and published in 2020 in Annales Botanici Fenici by Sri Rahayu and Michaela Roda. And I think the leaves on this one are really pretty. There's just a little bit of splash in there. And it has bloomed for me, and I'll put in the pictures of the blooms over here. It's growing in my standard pond mixture, and in self-watering pot, there's just minor rootage coming out the bottom. But as long as I keep the watering regular, it does bloom for me. It's very, very pretty blooms. So yeah, we're going to keep going with this one. There's a little bit of dribbles on here from somebody else's nectar. But it's doing okay. I would like that it had been growing a little bit more vigorously, but we'll take it. I think this is going to be similar to the medusa that we just looked at. This is not something that's going to, you're not going to wrap it around a trellis. It's the vine itself, even in the newer areas, is fairly firm. I think it would snap if you wrapped it. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. The leaves have a slightly recessed central vein. They're slightly textured. They're beautiful dark green color with a little bit of splash. So what's not to like? And it really has not been difficult. Not at all. So yeah, get in there and clean these leaves off. Get rid of that little bit of nectar dribble. But this has been fine. It's pretty. It's a nice plant. It's done well. No issues, no problems. This is Hoya occultata, and this one came from Plants Our Life shop on Etsy. Time for the question for the comments. And this one should be interesting and kind of a little different. In the comments below, tell us something that you no longer believe. And I'm talking about plants, not personal philosophy or anything else, although they might overlap sometimes. But things like, when I first started off, plants had to grow in soil, and now I'd say 80% of my plants don't grow in soil. Or that philodendrons are impossible to grow. I couldn't grow a philodendron to save my life when I first started off. Or that you should never water your plants at night. Yeah, because it doesn't rain in nature. So in the comments below, share with us something you no longer believe, something you started off with, and as you've gotten more experience, you finally went, well, that's not true at all. Think of it as things you set aside or garbage you discarded. But that should prove really interesting. So yeah, looking forward to reading those comments. And as always, I want to thank you for choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me this week's end. Please remember to click on that thumbs up like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, and if you're on a mobile device, watching on a mobile device, when you're done watching and adding your comments, click on that hype button. All four of those things help affect the YouTube algorithm so that my channel gets recommended to other people who might also enjoy it. It's a way you can help the channel grow. We're heading toward 5,000, so all your help is appreciated. A lot of the products that you've seen me use are available through my Amazon storefront. I receive a small commission on sales of items through the storefront, but it doesn't increase your price whatsoever. And it's another great way of helping support the channel by buying things that you might buy anyway. I have a relationship with Sansi if you're in the market for grow lights. And if you scan this QR code with the camera app on your phone, and if you use this discount code at checkout, you'll receive 30% off from the prices you find there. I've been really happy with my Sansi grow lights. They fit my budget, my price point, and my need for light through the winter. So yeah, I recommend Sansi lights. If you'd like to support the channel directly, there's a link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page, or you can scan this QR code. And or if you'd like to work through YouTube directly, there's a thanks button down here, and you can click on that, and YouTube takes care of everything for the thanks button. As usual, I'm going to post links to a couple more videos over on the side, and please enjoy the rest of your week's end.